Frankly, if Dennis doesn't explain where it came from, you may as well plead guilty and get it over and done with. There is an additional reason for pleading guilty, and that is that your case is listed before Judge Ryder.
Is he the one they called Billy the Bubble Boy? The vicious one?
Yes. He doesn't like acquittals, and he doubles the sentence for people who plead not guilty.
That bloke over there said that we had Judge barking mad.
Did he? Well, I don't think that is the case. Either way, if you don't give a proper explanation as to where you got it, you're doomed.
Today at Fulchester Crown Court, a brother and sister are to stand trial together. The jury is selected from members of the public, whose names appear on the electoral register.
There seemed to be some mistaking, Your Excellency.
But your name's Patel, isn't it?
Yes, Your Excellency, but I am not Navlika Patel.
Well, aren't you one of the Barrow boys?
No, Your Excellency.
Well, what are you doing here?
I am appealing against disqualification, Your Excellency.
Oh, dear, silly me. He should be in Judge Barking's court. Show him what it is, will you, Usher? Yes. Well, where are the Barrow boys? Doesn't anyone know?
We're here.
What does that woman want? Will someone tell her to stop interrupting?
That is my client, Your Honour. One of my clients.
I thought the accused were Barrow boys.
Yes, they are, Your Honour.
I see. Well, why aren't they in the cells? Haven't they surrendered to their bail? It was a salutary experience for accused persons to see what a cell looks like before they come up to plead. And why is he being tried here? He should be tried in a juvenile court.
Because he's jointly indicted with an adult, Your Honour, his sister.
I see. Case is listed for 3 days.
Yes, Your Honour.
Pleas of not guilty. Very well, let's get on.
So, Mr. Peck, the Patel's family stall is also in Market Street.
Right outside the door of our shop.
And for how long has that been the situation?
Ooh, we've had those premises since my father took them over in 1933, but they've had that stall for,
a number of years.
Oh, must be 5 years at least. You see, they were already there in 1971 when the new Immigration Act come in. You can say 5 years safely.
And do they sell the same goods as you do?
No, they just do fabrics. We do all kinds of household stuff.
Including fabrics?
Yes, but when you say fabrics, we do a bit more than is usual in the furnishing shop. You see, we do fashion fabrics as well as the household stuff.
Dressmaking material as well as, say, curtain material?
Yes.
Now, how long have you known the Patel family?
Oh, I've known the father since he first came over here. That must be 7 or more years ago. And Navlika and Dinish there, they came with him. But Mrs. Patel, she's only been over here for 2 years, and she came with another 2 kids. So there's 4 kids in all.
Now, Mr. Patel, of course, died in a road accident last year in April, I believe.
Yes.
And since then, has the business been carried on by the 2 accused?
Yeah, well, Mr. Patel did have an assistant, Mukherjee, who was deported. That was before Mr. Patel died. Illegal immigrant.
You mean the boy there helps there full time? Doesn't he go to school?
Always in that market more often than not. I mean, that's their way, isn't it? Child labour, you can't compete.
And what about Mrs. Patel? Doesn't she help in the store?
No, she stays at home with the younger ones. She doesn't speak any English, Your Honour.
I see, thank you. Yes, Mr. Assistant.
After Mr. Patel set up his store outside your shop, did you have cause to complain from time to time?
I did.
Not just because he set up in competition with you.
Oh, no, Your Honour, don't get me wrong. I don't mind competition if it is fair. You see, there's lots of other shops in Fulchester doing similar lines as we do. Well, OK, that's business. Now, what I couldn't stomach about the late Mr. Patel was his methods.
Which were?
Well, you see, don't get me wrong on this. I'm not one of those who goes for tarring all immigrants, you know, with the same brush. When I met Mr. Patel, I had a completely open mind. And you see, there's 2 ways of looking at these immigrants, isn't there? First thing is, all credit is due to them for pulling themselves together and getting out of India, which, let's face it, is a stinking hole. And I know what I'm talking about because I was stationed there during the war, and I wasn't sorry to turn my backside in it, I can tell you. And let's be fair, it takes a lot of guts to go to a new country where you don't even speak the language. But then, you see, you say, all right, if they come over here, they ought to mix in with the community. Live like the rest of us, stick to the rules and regulations. I mean, the law is the law.
I want to know the methods you didn't like, Mr. Pegg. What were they?
Well, 1, setting up a stall right outside my blooming door. 2, I come out one day, and there's a notice up, anything at Pegg's is cheaper here, which wasn't true for a start. Another time, he got a notice chalked up on the wall, you pay more at Pegg's. But you see, when he did undercut, and he did, it was because they didn't have the overheads. No staff, and he always dealt in cash, if you know what I mean. And there's another thing about these immigrants. They always set themselves a lower standard of living so they can afford to cut the profit margins. You know what I mean? Two families living where there only should be one, living on rice and vegetables instead of buying meat. You can't compete with that sort of thing. See, even when they're playing it straight, which half the time, in fact, I'd say more than half the time, they're not.
Yes, I see, thank you.
Mr. Pegg, what were the specific matters of which you complained?
Well, breaking the law, misdescription of fabrics, short measure, you see, that's the Trades Description Act. Employing children, contrary to the Children and Young Persons Act.
Those were the matters of which you complained to the police and which resulted in Mr. Patel being prosecuted and convicted in the Magistrates' Court.
Yeah, 3 convictions under the Trades Description Act and 1 for employing the nipper there.
Now, did you conceal the fact that you were the instigator of these prosecutions?
Yeah, why should I?
Then how did Mr. Patel react?
Well, it was always the same. He used to say, I'm not moving, Mr. Pegg. And I used to say, well, that is your privilege, Mr. Ibrahim, but once you step over that line and break the law, then I shall have you for breakfast. I mean, it became a bit of a joke at the end.
And did either of the accused ever say anything to you about these matters?
Oh, not much she didn't. Navlika there, she said that she would see that I paid her father's fine.
She said that you would pay her father's fines. Did she explain how?
No, Your Honour. And the nipper there, he's a cheeky monkey, he is. He used to call me Mr. Plod. He once gave me a policeman's helmet. I mean, you've got to laugh.
Now, Mr. Pegg, you say that Mr. Patel was killed in April last year.
Yeah, about that. I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
Well, was it before or after your summer holiday?
Oh, we didn't have one last year. We went on a cruise at Christmas instead.
Yes, well, never mind. The precise date is not important. Now, did you notice anything about the Patel stall after Mr. Patel's death?
Yeah, their stock was running down.
Indicating that their business wasn't doing so well?
No, most probably, yes.
Can you tell us what sort of a profit could be made out of a stall like that? Enough to keep a family of 6?
No, I couldn't, Your Honour, and neither could the Inland Revenue. Do you know, I know people who lose the same number of sales docket right off the same amount of material as lost or damaged year after year, and the Inland Revenue never says a thing. I've always said, if a retailer wants to cheat the revenue, it is a piece of cake.
Yes, Mr. Pegg. Very interesting, I'm sure. Mr. Sissons?
Now, to come to matters of immediate concern, do you recall the events of Tuesday, November the 30th last year?
Well, of course I do. My wife saw the nipper...
No, you must only tell us what you yourself saw or heard. Now, did your wife tell you something? Don't tell us if she did.
Can I get this straight?
Mr. Sissons, it is quite in order for Mr. Pegg to narrate what his wife told him. It is part of the res geste. What did your wife do? What were her exact words?
She said, Henry, come quick, the packy boy has pinched a roll of cotton. Well, I mean, they're not packies, really, but she doesn't know any better.
Now, what time was this?
About 11 o'clock in the morning.
So what did you do?
Well, I ran out into the street, and sure enough, there it was, on their stall.
You didn't see it being taken from your shop?
No, I was in the office.
So how can you be certain that the accused did get the cloth from your shop and not from elsewhere?
Well, my wife saw the nipper...
No. What I mean is, was there anything on the cloth to show that it must have come from your shop?
Well, there wasn't any of our labels on it or anything like that, if that's what you mean. But we've got proof all the same, although I have been told it is something I can't say here today. It's the hearsay rule, isn't it?
It is indeed, Mr. Pegg. Now, when you saw the roll of fabric on the accused stall, what did you do?
Well, I grabbed all of it to take it back. The nipper there grabbed the other end, and then Navlika came over.
And did either of them say anything?
Not then, they didn't.
So they didn't protest that the roll of cotton was theirs?
No, Your Honour.
But there was a struggle over this roll of cotton.
Well, they were holding on to it, and I was trying to take it back.
And then what happened? Or did you feel something?
Oh, yes, I felt something cold.
Could you be more specific?
All right, then. I felt as if someone had stuck 3 inches of cold steel into my guts.
And did you look to see what was causing this sensation?
Well, of course I did. I don't get pains like that every day, and I'm not made of rubber.
And what did you see?
Well, I saw that someone had stuck 3 inches of cold steel into my guts.
Who had?
Navlika there, she did.
Miss Patel, the accused?
Yes.
And at that moment, did either of the accused say anything?
Yes, she did.
How close were you to her when she spoke?
Well, she got hold of one end of whatever it was, and I was stuck on the other end of it. I mean, there's no mistaking about that.
And what did she say?
She said that the British are not the only ones who know how to stick pigs.
The British aren't the only ones who know how to stick pigs. Those are the very words she used.
They are, Your Honour. I did a few jumps in myself with a bayonet during the war. Now I know how they felt.
Yes, Mr. Pegg, but on this occasion, what did you do?
I grabbed hold of her wrist and pulled it out.
And did you then see with what it was you had been stabbed?
Yes, a pair of scissors.
Shall we look at the exhibits now, Mr. Sissons?
Very well, Your Honour. Usher, will you show Mr. Pegg the bale of cotton, Exhibit 1?
Usher. Oh, sorry. I was in a dream.
Now, is that the bale of cotton which was stolen from your shop and which you later tried to recover?
Yes.
And those stains on the cloth, are they your blood?
Yes, Your Honour. 2 pints of it, the doctor said.
Oh, I just want to make a note of that. As a result of being stabbed by Miss Patel, I lost 2 pints of blood. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honour.
I see, thank you. Now the weapon, Mr. Sissons?
Yes, Your Honour. Would you show Mr. Pegg Exhibit 2? Are those the scissors with which you were stabbed?
Yes, and you can see my blood on these too.
Yeah, may I see them, please? Did both blades go into you when you were stabbed, Mr. Pegg, or only one?
Only the one, Your Honour.
Ah, so the scissors were open when you were stabbed.
And when I pulled them out, Your Honour.
Yes, I see. Yes, they are remarkably sharp, Mr. Sissons. You're not calling expert evidence as to whether these scissors are sharper than is necessary for the cutting of cloth?
No, Your Honour.
You get the point, members of the jury. If they were excessively sharp, it might indicate that they had been sharpened for some reason other than for the cutting of fabric, for use as a weapon. Perhaps.
Your Honour, I really must object. Mr. Pegg did not even feel the cutting edges of the scissors when he looked at them just now.
But I think he did.
Well, I did not see him do it.
In any case, Mr. Lawton, he did feel how sharp they were when he was stabbed by them, didn't he? If you wish to call your own evidence on that point, you may. Now, let us get on. Mr. Sissons.
Mr. Pegg, I believe that after the stabbing, someone telephoned an ambulance and you were taken to the hospital.
I soon got over it.
Thank you, Mr. Pegg. Would you stay there, please?
Mr. Pegg, your feelings for the Patel family are 100% hostile, are they not?
Look, when their father first came over here, he rented a flat from me, so it's no use you trying to stick the old racial prejudice thing onto me. And that was before the 1974 Rent Act, when you could afford to let a flat as long as it was furnished. And I remember thinking then, good luck to him. You see, the 2 kiddies there, they were only, you know, teeny-weenies then. And let's be fair, he worked hard. And I say good luck to anyone who's prepared to work. The next thing I know is he set up his stall right outside my shop, where he can catch our customers. He's selling the same things as we do, and he's using unfair competition.
So you commenced a campaign of harassment and persecution, of which this trial is just the most recent feature.
Harassment? I only tried to see that he stuck to some points of the law.
What were the facts of the convictions you told us about, Mr. Pegg?
Oh, the usual thing, Your Honour, calling things what they weren't, like 100% cotton when it's more like 50%, or 20p off recommended retail price when he's actually charging more. Short measures. Oh.
What about the other offence, child labour?
Oh, that was everything in the book. Employing the nipper there, out of school hours, that's before 7 o'clock in the morning and after 7 o'clock at night. Employing him for more than 2 hours in any one school day. I mean, you name it, he did it. The sky's the limit.
I see, thank you.
Mr. Pegg, the prosecutions which you have just told us about led to the imposition on Mr. Patel of fines amounting to over £500. Money Mr. Patel, as you knew, badly needed to bring his wife and young children from India.
Mr. Pegg was only doing what is the right and proper duty of any citizen, to report a law breaking. Pass on to another point.
Very well, Your Honour. It's correct, is it not, Mr. Pegg, that you tried to get up a petition requesting the council to expel Mr. Patel from the market?
No, I did not. I asked the council to make him move. And it beats me why they never did. If they had have done, none of this would ever have happened. All right, then, I signed the petition, but it was not my idea.
What happened to the petition?
Well, it didn't get enough signatures, Your Honour. Somebody let the cat out of the bag, and he nobbled every one before they could sign it. And there wasn't anyone in that market who didn't have a pair of new curtains, courtesy of Ibrahim.
The convictions you've told us about weren't the only prosecutions instigated by you, were they, Mr. Pegg?
Be specific, Mr. Lawton.
In 1972, Mr. Patel was unsuccessfully prosecuted for obstruction under the Highways Act, wasn't he?
I believe he was, yes.
And you instigated that prosecution, did you not?
No, I did not. Look, I get my facts right. Market Street, is not a public road. And now I've known that since I was that high. My father told me that.
1973. You've got a son called Tommy, haven't you? And another son, Johnny.
Yes.
Respectively 2 and 4 years older than Dinesh Patel here.
About that, yes.
In 1973, Dinesh Patel was beaten up at school by your boys, wasn't he?
Look, that was nothing personal. That was just them in a gang. You know what kids are like, and I had them up for that.
Nothing personal, you say? Did not your children also smear fat over the Patels' front door handle?
What kind of fat?
Cow fat, Your Honour. The Patels are Hindu and would regard themselves as defiled if they touched such fat.
That was not my children. The police told me that.
Mr. Lawton, can't we get on to the theft and stabbing?
The alleged theft and the alleged stabbing, Your Honour.
That is what I meant.
Yes, Your Honour, very shortly. Mr. Pegg, there were also the repeated anonymous telephone threats to the Patels' home. You were responsible for those, were you not?
No, they told the police it was me. And I had to go down to the station to see him about it. Now, it was nothing to do with me. You talk about harassment. I was down there for 4 hours with the station sergeant one Saturday afternoon when Fulchester United got a cup tie.
Then there's Mr. Patel's assistant, whom you mentioned, a man called Mukherjee, reported and deported as an illegal immigrant.
That's right.
Well, you were responsible for that, weren't you?
The first I heard that he was an illegal immigrant was when the police had arrested him. I did not know before then. Navrika there said it was me, but it wasn't.
And in February of last year, just after his wife and young children joined him, Mr. Patel was convicted for permitting overcrowding in his home. You were behind that too, weren't you?
There's somebody else doesn't like him, but I get the blame for it all.
Mr. Lawton, that was another prosecution that was vindicated. Mr. Patel was committing an offence, so what are you complaining about?
Your Honour, I am using these incidents as illustrations that Mr. Pegg has an obsessive desire to harm the Patel family.
Well, he said he wasn't responsible for half these events. Only the successful prosecutions for breaches of the law regulating trading. Now, can't we get on to the theft and stabbing?
The alleged theft and the alleged stabbing, Your Honour. Yes, very well, of course. Mr. Pegg, when you and my 2 clients were struggling over the roll of cotton, Miss Patel had her back to the stall, had she not?
She could have done. It's all a bit of a blur now, to be honest.
And you put your hand in her face and began forcing her head back?
I never touched her.
Oh, I suggest you did. And that the stabbing occurred when she lost her grip on the roll of cloth and fell back onto the stall with you on top of her. In other words, you fell onto the scissors.
I never fell anywhere. I was standing up all the time. She stuck it in me.
With which hand?
The right one, I think.
Did she pick them up after the struggle?
I don't know. I never noticed. She could have done. The first time I saw it was when I saw what was sticking into me guts.
You take the book in your right hand, read aloud from the card.
I would if you'd hold the card the right way up.
Silly me.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Mrs. Pegg, what is your full name?
Sarah Pegg.
And do you live with your husband, Henry Pegg, at 179 Calcutta Road, Fulchester?
I do.
And you also assist your husband in his shop in Market Street, namely Pegg's Housewives Emporium?
Yes. I do the haberdashery, fabrics, lampshades, and other things that might be called more feminine.
And do you control the stock for your department?
Yes.
May she be shown Exhibit 1? Now, have you ever had any cotton like that in stock?
Yes, I had 4 rolls delivered last year.
From whom?
Adders and Johnsons of Manchester. They are one of our main suppliers. About £10,000 worth a year we have off them.
And when were the 4 rolls of that cotton delivered to you?
Well, that would be on the delivery note.
May she be shown Exhibit 3?
Yes, that's it. 4 rolls of Spring Song.
Delivered on?
Well, it says here. 12th of October, 1976.
Thank you. Now, were you at work in the shop on the 30th of November last year?
Yes.
And did you observe anything?
Yes, I'd just come out of the office and I was going back to the haberdashery when I saw the Patel boy walk out with a roll of spring song as bold as brass.
And what time was this?
11 o'clock. I'd just had my morning cup of tea.
Was everyone having a tea break then?
No, the assistants don't get a tea break in the morning.
Oh, I see, so the haberdashery counter was unattended.
No, I'm there most of the time. If I have to go out for anything, I ask one of the girls from another counter to keep an eye on it. But the smutty talk starts as soon as I turn my back.
So there were some members of the staff in attendance, but they were not paying attention.
Yes, they had their backs turned. I've told them time and again, you've got to treat everyone who comes into the shop as a shoplifter, and whatever else, never turn your back. But they don't care. They don't lose anything if we lose half our stock.
Yes, I see, thank you.
Now, when you saw the Patel boy with a roll of cotton under his arm, what did you do?
Well, I asked him where on earth he thought he was going with that.
And then what happened? Did he say anything?
Yes. Said something rude.
What did he say?
He told me to shut my mouth.
And then what happened?
Well, he ran out of the shop before I could grab hold of him.
And then you called your husband?
Yes.
Can you just tell me this, Mrs. Pegg? By the 30th of November, had you sold any of those 4 rolls of cotton that had been delivered?
1.
So on the morning of the 30th, you had 3 rolls left in your shop, one of which was taken out by the Patel boy there.
That's right. I'd specially checked that morning. There were 3.
I see, thank you.
Now, Mrs. Pegg, I want to deal with some other matters. There had been some friction between your family and the Patel family, I believe.
Oh, there'd been nothing but trouble ever since they came. I said to Henry when they came asking to rent the flat. Oh, and then they were there 3 years without paying a penny rent. I said to him we should stick to our own kind and have none
Yes,
of it.
Mrs. Pegg, I'm not concerned with all the details. What I want to know is whether Miss Patel ever spoke to you about the situation.
Oh, you mean when I had to speak to her about her father interfering with the girls in the market?
Don't talk about our father like that.
Miss
Why don't you
Patel.
stop her, Liza? Why don't you say something?
Miss Patel.
It's disgusting saying that in front of Mum.
I understand your mother does not understand English, Miss Patel.
No, she don't.
Then what are you distressing yourself about?
We understand English all right. Better than we understand Gujarati anymore.
Miss Patel, we are now hearing Mrs. Pegg's story. If you wish, at a later date, you will have your say. At the moment, you must sit down and be quiet.
We'll be able to tell the truth then.
You will have that opportunity.
All right, I'm sorry. But it's just so wrong saying that...
That will do.
Mrs. Pegg, you say there was an occasion when you spoke to Miss Patel about her father interfering with the girls in the market. What exactly did you say to her?
Well, I said I thought she ought to know, because he'd be getting into trouble soon with the police.
Did you say what you thought he was doing?
Yes, you know, pinching them. And, you know, showing himself.
Exposing himself.
Yes.
Did she say anything?
Yes. She said somebody ought to shut my mouth soon, or she would, permanent, she said. And she said that went for Mr. Pegg as well.
So she threatened you and your husband?
Yes.
Did she say anything else?
Yes. She said she'd do that if one of us was to open our mouths again.
Now, when did this conversation take place?
Just before we went on holiday, July.
Last year?
Yes.
Now, were there any other occasions when any kind of friction arose between you and the Patels before the 30th of November when the cloth was taken?
No.
So, to use Miss Patel's own words, the next time either you or Mr. Pegg opened your mouth...
She stabbed him. I mean, she's as good as her word. You have to say that for her.
The cases in Fulchester are fictitious. Join us tomorrow when the Queen against Navlika and Dinesh Patel will be resumed in the Crown Court.
Mrs. Pegg, did you follow your husband out of the shop after you had told him that the Patel boy there had stolen the roll of cotton?
No, somebody had to mind the store. I went out when I saw the crowd.
Oh, a crowd gathered then you went out?
Yes.
And what did you see?
Well, Henry was all covered in blood.
A brother and sister, Navlika and Dinesh Patel, are on trial on charges arising out of an incident in Fulchester Market in November last year. A shopkeeper, Henry Pegg, and his wife Sarah have alleged that Dinesh stole a roll of cotton from their shop and that when Mr. Pegg went to reclaim it, Navlika stabbed him in the stomach with a pair of scissors. Sarah Pegg is still giving evidence. The jury are selected from members of the public whose names appear in the electoral register.
Finally they got him.
Yes, I see, thank you. Any more questions, Mr. Sisson?
Just one, Your Honour. Mrs. Pegg, after your husband had been taken to the hospital, did you go back into the shop to see how many rolls of that cotton were there?
Yes. There were 2.
Thank you, Mrs. Pegg. Would you wait there, please?
Now, Mrs. Pegg, yesterday afternoon you told us in lurid detail how you'd had a conversation with my client, Miss Patel, in which you told her that her father had been interfering with the young women in the market, and that at the end of that conversation she threatened you and your husband. I put it to you that no such conversation ever took place. It's just one of your inventions.
It did, every word of it.
Well, I hear what you say, Mrs. Pegg. I also suggest that Dinesh Patel never entered your shop on the 30th of November last year. In fact, I suggest this entire charge is one which you have trumped up after seeing that the Patels were selling this spring-song cotton identical to your own stock.
That's not true.
Do you agree with your husband that there is nothing on or about this roll of cotton to show that it came from your store?
Yes.
But you say you actually saw Dinesh Patel taking it from the shop?
Yes.
You saw it, but your assistants did not?
I've already explained all this.
So it's really all a question of the value to be placed on your evidence. Mrs. Pegg, I am curious about some quite peripheral aspects of your evidence. When you were asked to take the oath yesterday, you said the usher was holding the card upside down. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Well, he wasn't holding it upside down, was he?
Yes, he was.
He says he wasn't.
Well, he's wrong.
Well, I hear what you say, Mrs.
What
Pegg.
on earth is this about, Mr. Lawton?
If Your Honour will allow me a little while in which to develop my cross-examination.
Very well.
Mrs. Pegg, you also mentioned that you went on holiday last summer in July.
Yes, we went to my sister. She has a villa at the Costa del Sol with a swimming pool and all.
Well, Mrs. Pegg, the truth is that you did not go anywhere at all, did you? That's what your husband told us.
Oh, well, it must have been the year before.
Don't you know whether you had a holiday last year?
Well, I must have been confused.
Another matter, Mrs. Pegg. You mentioned that when the Patels were tenants of a flat of yours, they never paid their rent. That isn't true either, is it?
Oh, they never paid a penny.
Sarah.
Well, in that case, can you explain how it was that they occupied that flat for nearly 3 years without your husband trying to have them evicted?
Well, I expect he felt sorry for them.
Come now, Mrs. Pegg, the truth is that you are an inveterate liar, aren't you? You lie about anything and everything, even if it's quite unimportant.
You're just trying to get me confused.
Mrs. Pegg, just now you told us that your sister has a house on the Costa del Sol. You haven't even got a sister, have you?
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I didn't, did I?
Yes, you did, Mrs. Pegg. How did you come to say that? Have you got a sister?
Well, she's not a real sister. She's a friend, I call her sister. I always call her my sister, don't I, Henry?
Don't answer, Mr. Pegg. Mrs. Pegg, you cannot ask questions while you are giving evidence. Do you understand?
I see.
Ever had any psychiatric treatment, Mrs. Pegg?
No, why should I?
For your tendency to tell lies, to invent stories.
Is it your case that this witness has been receiving psychiatric treatment?
No, Your Honour. It seemed a reasonable question to ask.
Well, I consider it an improper question to ask a witness whether she has had psychiatric treatment, unless you have strict instructions to that effect.
I was not making a positive assertion, Your Honour. I was merely asking a question.
It is the same thing, Mr. Lawton.
Well, Your Honour, I respectfully disagree, but of course I bow to your ruling.
Very well. Let's pass on.
Mrs. Pegg, do you make a record of every sale you make?
Of course we do.
So you will be able to produce documentary proof that by the morning of the 30th of November last year, you had only sold one of the 4 rolls of Spring Song and thus had 3 rolls left.
Well, you'll have to ask my husband, because he deals with all the paperwork.
Is this really necessary, Mr. Lawton? She says she saw your client carry the roll of cotton out of the shop. Now, isn't that enough?
Certainly not. If before the alleged theft there were only 2 rolls left, the same number as there were afterwards.
Yes, very well. Mr. Peck, can you get the documents Mr. Lawton wishes to see?
No, I'm afraid not, Your Honour.
Oh, why not?
Well, a lot of stuff got thrown out by mistake. We had a clear-out in the new year, and they was with them.
Oh, so the stock records are lost?
Oh, not all of them, just some of the sales records.
Well, there you are, Mr. Lawton. Doesn't look as though we can take this matter any further.
No, Your Honour.
Thank you, Mr. Pegg. Yes, Mr. Lawton.
So, Mrs. Pegg, you are in the position which your husband implied Mr. Patel had engineered for himself for the purposes of making his returns to the Inland Revenue. Namely, no sales records to contradict your assertion that something has been lost or stolen and not sold.
If that's what my husband says, yes.
Oh, it is, Mrs. Pegg. It is.
Your Honour, I have a few questions to ask in re-examination, but I have a witness waiting who is extremely pressed for time. I wondered if I might interpose his evidence.
Of course, Mr. Sisson.
Yes, this is one of ours, Spring Song. In fact, I designed it myself.
When did you first start manufacturing this particular design?
October last year.
And I believe you have, at the request of the police, checked your records of the stock.
Yes, I gave the records to the police.
May he be shown Exhibit 4?
Usher.
Your Honour, I shall be asking to introduce these records as evidence, pursuant to the Criminal Evidence Act 1965. I believe my friend has no objection.
Mr. Lawton. Well.
Mr. Johnson, can you tell us from the records how many rolls of this cloth had been sold by the 30th of November last year?
Yes, 4.
And can you tell us to whom they'd been sold?
Yes, to Pegg's Housewives' Emporium.
In Market Street, Fulchester?
Yes.
And you're quite sure that none of this material had been sold to anyone else by that date?
Quite sure.
So that if anyone else was in possession of this material by that date, they must have got it from Pegg's?
Yes.
One other question, Mr. Johnson. At what price do you wholesale this material?
40p per metre.
And how much is there on the roll?
Well, it varies, but around 50 metres.
And at what price would you expect it to retail?
Our recommended price is 74p.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, apart from being sold, stock does sometimes simply go missing, doesn't it?
Yes, that is the purpose of stock control, to minimise pilfering and so forth. But none of this particular line has gone missing so far.
When was the last stock take?
Well, they're monthly, so the last one would be last month.
Of course, all the figures you've given us are based on records compiled by your employees.
Yes.
So those figures might well be erroneous if there's a miscount, for instance.
Oh, yes, it could happen, but by the law of averages, it's bound to be picked up at the next stock take.
Well, for example, it is possible that you start with 102 rolls, which intentionally or by mistake are in fact recorded as being only 100 rolls.
Theoretically, yes. But you are overlooking the fact that I know how much raw material is being printed. And if enough cotton for 102 rolls of print produces only 100 rolls of printed material, I would want to know why.
You don't manufacture your own material, then?
No.
Do you ever find that there is more material on a roll than has been stated to you by the manufacturers?
Yes, it can happen.
So that it's possible that in some circumstances you might not know how much raw material was actually being printed?
For this to happen, there would have to be deliberate dishonesty on the part of a number of my employees, between 5 and 10 acting in concert. Firstly, you'd have to have a situation in which the manufacturers supplied us with more material than they themselves indicated. Then you'd need the men discovering this and deciding to make a profit out of it, making false entries all over the place, just so that they could, as you suggest, produce a few extra rolls of print. And then they'd have to get it out of the factory.
Yes, I appreciate all that, Mr. Johnson. Another way in which it can be done, of course, is for certain material to be falsely written off as being damaged, soiled, substandard in some way.
Again, that involves dishonesty by my employees, including collusion by my foreman. And it's an implication I'm beginning to resent.
So only your foremen have the authority to certify and therefore write off fabric as being substandard or soiled?
Yes, Your Honour. Yes. And I may say that if it is substandard when it comes from the manufacturers, this involves a contra-charge against them. And if no such charge is made, I want to know why.
And what about this particular cotton? Has any of this been written off for any of these reasons?
Not this print, no.
But has cotton of the type on which this was printed been written off since October last year?
Well, yes, that's inevitable. We use vast quantities of this particular cotton for producing a whole range of goods.
So, it is theoretically possible that some of the cotton of the type on which this was printed was falsely written off and then, in fact, printed and smuggled out of the premises.
It is not a theory I would accept as having any real possibility.
One last matter, Mr. Johnson. Mrs. Pegg has told us that Pegg's Housewives Emporium are one of your biggest customers. Is that true?
Well, I really can't think where she gets that idea from. They must be one of our smallest.
Buying what value of fabric from you in a year, say?
Oh, I'd say about £500.
Not £10,000. That's the figure that she mentioned.
Gracious, no, I can't think how she could have got a figure like that.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
My pleasure.
Does Your Honour have any questions?
Yes. Mr. Johnson, Mr. Lawton has made various suggestions as to how some of this particular cloth of yours could be unaccounted for. But all these suggestions imply mistake or dishonesty by your employees. Now, knowing your workforce as you do you find these suggestions credible?
Your Honour, with the greatest respect, that question is, in my opinion, wholly inadmissible. It is for the jury to decide whether they think the suggestion's credible or not.
If I thought that question was inadmissible, I would not have asked it, Mr. Lawton. I consider it is admissible.
Will Your Honour make a note of my objection?
Of course.
I'm obliged.
Yes, Mr. Johnson.
I find this suggestion quite incredible, Your Honour. It is my experience in my own business, and in other businesses, that in a well-run factory with adequate wages and good labour relations, these kind of things only happen exceptionally. We haven't had a case of pilfering for over 5 years.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mrs. Pegg, will you come back into the witness box, please? Mrs. Pegg, your husband does most of the ordering of the stock, does he?
Yes.
And so, therefore, the figures you gave me for the orders from Adler and Johnson's were, estimate?
Yes. I wouldn't know.
I see. Now, one more matter. You have been running the fabrics department, cutting cloth, serving customers, for some years, I presume.
Yes, I joined the fabric department at Pegg's when I left school. And then I run it on my own after we got married. So I've been there ever since I left school, except when the children were born, of course.
Yes, I thought so. Now, I want you to feel the scissors over there. Usher, will you give them to her? Usher.
Oh, sorry, Honour. I just couldn't resist a little feel.
Now, feel the blades, will you? Now, would you say those scissors are sharper than is usual for use in a haberdasher's?
Oh, I should say they are.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Who said that?
I did, Your Honour. And I should know. I worked in the Harrods haberdashery department 7 years.
Get out. Get out of my court.
All stand.
Mr. Robinson, I want to make it quite clear I will not have that usher in my court again. He has been here long enough to know that usher should be seen and not heard, and the only people who give evidence in this court are witnesses.
Yes, Your Honour, he hasn't been here very long, but he has been here quite long enough to know that.
Very well, let's get on, shall we? Yes, Mr. Lawton?
I call Miss Patel. She will require to take the Hindu oath.
Can I just affirm?
Do you not practice your religion?
Not me and Dinesh. We've sort of been here since we were little kids. When we went to school, we just did what the others did. Mum's very religious, though.
I see. Very well.
I do solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Now, Miss Patel, Your full name is Navlika Patel,
Yes.
and you live at number 12, Plessy Road, Fulchester.
Yes.
How old are you?
18.
I want to spend a little time on history first, Your Honor. I believe you came to this country from India in 1967 with your father and your brother here, Dinesh.
Yes.
You were then 9 years old and Dinesh was 4.
Yes.
4. Who looked after him?
Me and Dad.
Well, what happened to him when your father was at work?
I used to take him to school in the mornings. In the afternoons, he came out earlier than me. So he used to wait outside the school. I used to take him home, give him his tea, and put him to bed when Dad came home.
Why did you come to England?
Because we were very poor. And sometimes we're very hungry, you know.
But why pick on, choose a Fulchester?
Dad had an address here of some people from Gujarat. But when we got here, they'd already moved.
Where did you live when you first came to England?
We rented a room from Mr. Pegg. There was an Indian porter at the station. He fixed it for us. We didn't speak any English, you see.
A room? Mr. Pegg said it was a flat.
It was a bedsit. It was sort of partitioned off to cook, so I suppose that's how he gets to calling it a flat.
I believe your father worked in a factory for a couple of years, saved up, and then opened the stall in the market.
Yes. He had a job in aluminium factory and another job as a machinist in the evenings.
2 jobs at once?
Yes. We had to send money home to Mum and save up for the business and Mum's and boys' fares.
How many younger brothers do you have, besides Dinesh?
2. They're 10 and 4.
So your father returned to India between 1967 and 1976?
Just once, yes.
Can we deal with something more material, Mr. Lawton?
Yes, I'm just about to leave the history, Your Honour. Your mother and brothers arrived in this country in January 1976, I believe, and your father was killed in the road accident. When was that?
April.
April. Since when you have been running the stall?
I sort of have to. Mum doesn't speak a word of English.
But Dinesh helps?
Yes. Mornings, evenings, Saturdays. He knows more about it than I do, really, as he was always helping Dad when he was alive.
What hours do you work?
Same as Dad. 7:30 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, Mondays to Saturdays.
So you are the breadwinner of the family?
Me and Dinesh, yes. If anything happened to me, I don't know what would happen to Mum. She's helpless.
Mr. Lawton, we really must come to the main points in issue.
Yes, Your Honour.
Miss Patel, what we need to know is, where did you get that roll of cotton?
I didn't. Dinesh did. He does all the buying.
Are you telling us that your young brother of 13 years buys all the stock for your stall?
Yes. He always used to help Dad. When Dad was alive, I just sort of did the housework when I wasn't at school. It's sort of quite natural for Indian girls, you know. The boys always work if they can.
Well, where did he get it from? And when?
I don't know.
You mean to say you don't know where all the stock for your stall comes from?
No, honest. Dinesh usually gets it on a Thursday evening from a wholesaler in Manchester. He goes along with a friend of Dad's.
Well, what are you saying?
That I don't know where Dinesh got that stuff.
Well, what did it cost?
I don't know.
Didn't you ask?
No.
Well, how did you know what to charge for it?
Dinesh tells me.
When did you leave school?
When Dad died, but I went back for my A-levels.
So here you are, a reasonably intelligent person capable of passing A-levels, and yet you are telling us, in fact, that you take orders from your younger brother, who is nothing less than an urchin.
I don't take orders from Dinesh, but honest, he knows best about these things. He was always helping Dad. I just helped on the stall once or twice before Dad died.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lawton, but I did just want to get that clear.
I'm obliged, Your Honour. Miss Patel, when did you first see that roll of cloth?
First thing Saturday. It was already on the stall when I got there. Dinesh had got the stall out.
Mrs. Pegg says that it was stolen from their shop at 11 a.m. Yet you say it was on your stall first thing in the morning. What time would that have been about?
Well, it was there about 8:30 when I got there.
Were there any other materials that were new that morning?
No.
Did you say anything about the new roll of cotton?
I asked Dinesh how much I should charge for it.
And what did he say?
39p a metre.
Did you leave the stall at all that morning, after you'd arrived?
No, not until after the trouble.
Was Dinesh with you all the time?
No, not all of it. He sort of comes and goes. He's got lots of friends in the market. He's always dashing about.
Now then, tell His Honour and the jury what happened later that morning.
It was about 11 o'clock when Mr. Pegg suddenly came up and grabbed the cotton there. Dinesh grabbed the other end, and Mr. Pegg was using foul language and everything. So I went to help Dinesh.
And what did you do?
Well, I grabbed hold of the cotton too. And Mr. Pegg was putting his hand on my face and was pushing my neck back.
Then what happened?
Well, I lost hold of the cotton and fell back over the stool. And he sort of fell on top of me. It was an accident.
You had those scissors in your hand?
Yes. They went right into him.
When did you pick the scissors up?
I had them in my hand all along. I was cutting something when Mr. Pegg came.
And in which hand did you have them?
In my right hand.
With which hand were you holding the roll of cotton during the struggle?
My left hand. The roll was on my left, and Mr. Pegg was on my side of the roll.
Miss Patel, did you deliberately stab Mr. Pegg?
No.
Did you immediately afterwards say, the British are not the only ones who know how to stick pigs?
That is a lie, like everything else Mrs. Pegg says.
Did you ever, because of the friction between the families, threaten to stop Mr. or Mrs. Pegg's mouths?
No, that's all lies. She never said any of those lies when my dad was alive, and I never threatened them. Never.
Thank you, Miss Patel. Just remain there for one moment, please.
Miss Patel, you say that you still don't know where your little brother got this roll of cotton.
No.
Although you've asked him.
Of course, if I had witnesses that it didn't come from Pegg's, things would be easy, wouldn't they?
And has he told you why he won't say where he got it?
He says they might be stolen, and he doesn't want to get anyone into trouble.
I see. Now, as I understand it, you have reached the conclusion that Mr. and Mrs. Pegg are carrying out a campaign of harassment against you.
They are.
And you reached that conclusion some time ago.
When Dad first opened the stall in the market. 7 years ago, that was.
And as far as you were concerned, it continued, didn't it? The petition to evict your father, the various convictions and fines, the prosecution for obstruction, Dinesh being beaten up at school, anonymous telephone calls, fat smeared on your door, and the deportation of Mr. Mukherjee. Now, you believed that the Peggs were behind all these things.
They were.
In fact, by the summer of last year, your feelings were such that when Mrs. Pegg spoke to you about your father's behaviour with the girls in the market, you threatened to shut her mouth and Mr. Pegg's mouth too.
She never said any of that, nor did I.
Oh, come now, the truth is that you were looking forward to the opportunity of getting your own back.
No. We just did what Dad said we should. Stick it out like Dandy Dad used to say.
Miss Patel, I put it to you that you were out for revenge. And you got it by stabbing Mr. Pegg at your store on the 30th of November last year.
No, it was an accident.
Well, then, if, as you say, it was an accident, I presume you were sorry when you saw that Mr. Pegg had been stabbed in the stomach. Well, were you? Were you sorry?
No, I wasn't sorry.
The cases in Fulchester are fictitious. Tomorrow you can join us again when the Queen against Navlikar and Dinesh Patel will be concluded in the Crown Court.
Once again, Miss Patel, you say that you stabbed Mr. Pegg with those scissors, and yet you weren't sorry.
I didn't stab him. He sort of got stuck onto it when he fell onto me.
At any rate, you didn't care. Well, let me put it this way. Would you have been sorry if Mr. Pegg had died?
No.
Navlika Patel, who is giving evidence, and her 13-year-old brother are being tried as a result of an incident in Fulchester Market in November last year. Shopkeeper Henry Pegg and his wife have alleged that Navlika's brother Dinesh stole a roll of cotton from their shop, and that when Mr. Pegg went to reclaim it, Navlika stabbed him in the stomach with a pair of scissors. The case is now in its third day. The jury are selected from members of the public whose names appeared on the electoral register.
And I don't think anyone else in my position would have felt sorry if they had to put up with all what we did.
Miss Patel, I put it to you that the reason why you were not sorry when Mr. Pegg was stabbed was because it was precisely what you wanted. In other words, that you did it deliberately.
That wouldn't have solved anything. Not for me and the family. I mean, would it?
I have no further questions, Your Honour.
Mr. Lawton, I have one or two questions which might be conveniently asked before you re-examine.
Of course.
Miss Patel, you say you had the scissors in your hand at the moment the struggle began over the roll of cotton. Now, why didn't you put them down before you went over to help your brother? Surely then you would have had both hands free.
I don't know. It was all so quick.
Yes, but if you intended to join in the struggle over the roll of cotton, what you really needed was to have both hands free, wasn't it?
I suppose, yes.
Then why didn't you put the scissors down?
I don't know. It was so quick.
I see. When you... No, to use a neutral term. When the scissors penetrated Mr. Pegg's stomach, they were open. Now, how did that happen if you didn't open them deliberately so that it would be easier for you to force them into Mr. Pegg?
One of the handles must have sort of slipped out of my hand.
One of the handles must have sort of slipped out of your hand. But how?
I don't know.
You don't know. That roll of cloth, you say your young brother got it from somewhere, you don't know where, and you say he still won't tell you from whom he got it.
Well, some of his mates, but he doesn't want to tell them.
By mates, you mean adults he'd met in the market?
Yes, not other kids.
Now, you were selling this cotton at 39p a metre,
Yes.
But the wholesale price was 40p, and the recommended retail price was 74p. Did it not occur to you that this might have been stolen?
I didn't know what it cost. Honest.
Because you say your young brother buys all the stock for the store.
Yes.
Very well, Mr. Norton.
Miss Patel, those scissors, when were they last sharpened?
I don't think they ever were. Certainly not since I was running the store.
Did you, as has been suggested, have them deliberately sharpened for possible use as a weapon?
No, they weren't sharpened at all. Not since Dad died, anyhow.
Miss Patel, as we know, your mother only arrived in this country last year and does not yet speak any English. Dinesh is 13, and you have another two younger brothers, aged 10 and 4. When your father died last April, who did you think would have to look after the family?
Me. That's why I left school. Dad wanted me to get a degree if I could.
You no longer have any plans to get a degree.
Well, I can't, can I?
Did you ever consider what would happen to the family if anything prevented you from earning a living?
Yes. They'd have to go on Social Security, and Dinesh would have to do everything, because Mum's hopeless except for shopping and cooking.
You do appreciate that you can go to prison for crimes of violence?
Yes.
And you understood that last November?
Yes.
Did you ever consider using any kind of violence on Mr. Pegg or his family as a result of their harassment?
No. What's the use of making things worse?
Yes. Thank you, Miss Patel. Your Honour? You may go back to the dock for the moment. Your Honour, I wonder if I might have a short adjournment to take instructions. I will be quite frank about this. As you know, Miss Patel says that the roll of cotton was obtained by her brother from some other source, but that he will not say from where. Obviously, I should like to call the person who supplied the cotton, if only I can ascertain who he or she is.
If he or she exists?
Yes, of course, Your Honour.
What I want to know is where that cloth came from. Now look, Dinesh, I'll do a deal with you. You tell me who it is, and I promise if he will not come to this court and give evidence voluntarily, I will not force him to do so, okay? We ask him to come, and then we leave it up to him to do the decent thing. Okay?
I don't know who it was. I've never seen him before.
You'll be telling me next you met him in a pub.
I did.
That is inherently improbable. Firstly, because it's inherently improbable, and secondly, because you are 13 years old, and publicans do not allow 13-year-olds into pubs.
I wasn't in the bar. Just in the corridor.
Which pub?
The Green Dragon. In Calvary Street.
Who took you there?
Well, no one. There was this fella said there was a bloke round the Dragon with a roll of cotton. if I was interested, so I went along.
So where is he?
Well, I don't know. Never seen him before or since.
What about the fellow who sent you to the pub?
Well, he doesn't know either. Just met him there.
What did the man in the pub look like?
Well, I don't know. Except his hair was funny.
Funny. In what way funny?
Well, he was kind of all red. Bright like. Dyed.
Dyed bright red?
Yes.
Mr. Spears, do you know the Green Dragon?
Yes, I do.
Right, off you go and keep us informed.
Right.
So, you bought that cotton from a man with red hair in a pub.
A man with red hair in a pub called the Green Dragon, Mr. Sisson.
Yes, Your Honour.
Well, Patel?
That's right, mister.
Whom you've never seen before and you've never seen since.
No, mister. And I don't see what's so funny.
It is just that it is the least credible and oldest of explanations given by people who are accused of having goods that are stolen. It always makes the lawyers laugh.
Oh.
Except that in your case there is an additional implausible feature. You are too young to be admitted into a pub. Yes, Mr. Sissons?
Now, how much did you pay this man for the roll of cotton?
About £5.
And was it a full roll, about 50 metres?
Yes.
The proper wholesale price for which would have been £20.
Yes.
So you knew it was stolen? You were receiving goods knowing them to have been stolen? Please answer.
Yes, mister. I only wanted to make a bit more profit.
That's all any fence wants to do. Mr. Lawton, in the light of the evidence just given by your client, do you wish to ask for a further short adjournment so that you may take instructions? Your client may wish to change his plea.
No, Your Honour, I would not advise him to change his plea. He is charged with stealing a roll of cotton from Henry Pegg. He is not charged with handling someone else's property, knowing it to be stolen.
The indictment can always be amended.
Your Honour, at this late stage in the trial, the indictment could only be amended over my dead body.
We shall have to hear argument about that, Mr. Lawton, if the Crown apply to amend. In the meantime, until they do, it would be premature of you to lay down your life. Mr. Sissons, do you wish to apply to amend?
No, Your Honour.
The accused has admitted on oath handling stolen goods.
Yes, Your Honour, but with the greatest respect, one cannot begin a trial on a charge of bigamy and at the end convict a man of murder.
That is hardly the same thing.
No, Your Honour, but the principle is the same. For my part, I'm not prepared to run the risk of precipitating what a higher court might well consider to be a mistrial by making the application which Your Honour contemplated I might be contemplating.
Very well, Mr. Sissons. You have the conduct of the case for the Crown. You had a further cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honour. Patel, you claim that you buy all the stock for the stall that your sister runs. Where do you buy it?
Well, on Thursdays I go to Manchester with some of my dad's friends. They help me like.
Who are these people? The Hindus?
There aren't many Hindus in England, mister. Mainly Muslims. Indians and Pakistanis. And some English people. Friends of Dad's.
And this man who you claim sold you the roll of cotton, was he one of your late father's friends?
Well, I've told you. I've never seen him before.
And when you go to Manchester, how do you pay for the stuff you buy?
How do you mean, please?
Well, who pays?
Me. Except sometimes the others lend me money.
Cheque or cash?
Cash.
And where do you get the money from?
Well, out of my pocket, mister.
I see. Now, it's your sister Navlika who runs the stall most of the time. So I expect that you and she sometimes get together to discuss the business, how it's doing, what to buy, what to sell, and so forth.
Yes.
And I expect she likes to know what the profit margin is.
Yes.
So I expect you usually tell her what you've paid for a fabric.
Usually I do, mister, yes.
So I suppose that you told her what you paid for this cloth which you claim to have bought from a stranger in a pub.
No.
No. Why not?
Because I paid so little for it. I thought it might be hot.
Hot? Stolen?
You are saying that you didn't want your sister to know that the goods were stolen.
Have you ever bought any cloth from a man in a pub before?
No, mister.
Have you ever bought any cloth in Fulchester before?
No.
So you're really asking us to believe That you bought this cloth from a man in a pub whom you've never seen before and you've never seen since, and who was a stranger to all your friends.
That's right.
Oh, come now. The truth is that you stole that roll of cotton from the Pegg shop, didn't you?
I never stole nothing.
And when Mr. Pegg tried to get it back, your sister stabbed him with those scissors.
It was an accident.
About as accidental, I suggest, as the man in the pub is real. Thank you.
Dinesh, when you were attacked at school in 1973 by a gang including Johnny and Tommy Pegg, who appeared to be the leader?
Well, they did. They were saying, get the bloody wagon that.
Now, you've told us of a conversation you had with Mr. Pegg in April of last year, just after Mr. Mukherjee, your father's assistant, had been deported and your father had died. Tell us again what you said to Mr. Pegg.
Well, I said, Mr. Pegg, I know you did for Mr. Mukherjee, and you've done us for overcrowding and all the rest. Why don't you just leave us alone?
And what did he say to that?
Well, he said sure he did. And there'd be a lot more where they came from if we didn't move from outside his shop.
Well, if he said that, why didn't you move your stall? That would have ended it all.
Well, Dad said not to. He said that we had a right. That we ought to go to prison first, like Mr. Gandhi.
Oh, I'm glad you could come. Where is he? In there.
Your Honour, that concludes the case for the defence.
You're not calling the invisible man from the pub?
I regret it has not been possible to trace him, Your Honour.
So the jury will have to decide whether he ever existed, or if he is the same old, non-existent man in the pub that the court has been hearing about for 300 years or more.
Excuse me, is this the Patel case?
It is. Who are you?
My name's Lewis Van Doren. What's yours? I sold that to the kid sometime in November.
Where did the transaction take place?
In the Green Dragon in Calvary Street.
And what did he pay you? Do you remember?
I don't remember, 5 or 10 quid. I don't remember.
Has your hair ever been a different colour than it is now?
I've had it ash, I've had it silver, I've had it platinum, I've had it purple, I've had it green, I've had it red, and I've had it natural.
What colour was it last November?
Red.
When were you first asked to come here and give evidence in this case?
This morning.
By whom?
The usher outside. I don't know his name. I've seen him in the Green Dragon.
And not the usher in the court here?
No, the one outside.
I see. Did he tell you of any of the evidence that had been given?
He said the kid had said he'd bought some cotton in the Green Dragon from a man with red hair. It had to be me.
So you were told, before you came here, that the boy was claiming he had bought a roll of cotton from a man with red hair?
Yeah.
I see. Did you have that ring in your ear last November?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Lawton?
I'm obliged, Your Honour. Mr. Van Doren, whom did you get the roll of cotton from?
A fellow that works in Adler and Johnson's in Manchester.
The fabric printers?
Yes.
Who was he?
Oh, you don't honestly think I'm going to answer that, do you?
As I explained a few moments ago when you burst into this court, disrespect or defiance of the court is a contempt.
Right, a bloke I met in the pub, I don't know what his name is, and I was so smashed at the time that I couldn't tell you what he looked like, even if you asked me.
I am not impressed with that answer, Mr. Van Doren.
I'm not here to impress anyone. I'm here to tell the truth.
Mr. Van Doren, Mr. Johnson of Adler and Johnson has told this court that he considers it incredible that any of his members of staff might be involved in acts of dishonesty.
Oh, I read that in the newspaper. It's hogwash. Theft is the oldest and best-tried method of redistributing wealth. Theft is, in fact, an essential part of the social system in this country. Without it, there would have been a bloody revolution and capital would have been overthrown 100 years ago. Theft, the pools and the horses are indispensable to the social system.
Mr. Van Doren, could you be a little less general, please?
Right. In Adler and Johnson, like most other industrial concerns in this country, the workers are bored, ill-paid, deprived, without job satisfaction and cheated of the fruits of their labour. So they ask themselves, should we fiddle and steal, or should we join the unions? And somebody said, well, we better not join the unions because we don't want to upset Mr. Johnson. So they had no alternative but to fiddle and steal. Oh, and Mr. Johnson was lucky, because some workers fiddle and steal and join the unions, which is how I got that roll of cloth there, dirt cheap. A 50-metre roll of cotton that featured in their books as material, written off as a bit of smudged printing. As you can see, it was in fact perfect.
And you sold it to Dinesh Patel here for £5.
If he says £5, £5. I thought it was £10.
Thank you, Mr. Van Doren.
What are you, Mr. Van Doren? A Trotskyite, a common fence, an actor? Or what?
Oh, I don't think I'm any of those.
You've told us that you sold a roll of cotton to Dinesh Patel, which you claim was stolen from Adler and Johnson's.
Yes.
Have you ever done anything like this before?
Yes.
Have you been prosecuted for it?
No.
You have no police record. So you're asking us to believe that you have suddenly entered the world of crime. Or if you're already in it, that you've suddenly decided to confess.
I don't like seeing people leaning on kids.
And you're prepared to give false evidence to help these two. What a romantic gesture. As Sidney Carton, you're putting your own head on the guillotine.
Oh, I'm putting my own head on the guillotine, but unlike Sidney Carton, I'm not innocent.
Or is it perhaps that you think because you have no previous conviction that you're unlikely to be sent to prison as a result of confessing to a crime?
I don't know much about that.
But you do understand that it's unusual for first offenders to be sent to prison?
Yes, I think I'd heard that.
So that's what you're hoping, is it? That your false evidence will assist the two accused, and that if you should be prosecuted on that evidence on the basis that it's true, you're unlikely to suffer very much yourself?
No. And it's not just helping them. I'm here to tell the truth.
So what do you think you're doing? A good turn for the underprivileged? Or for a friend, perhaps? Your friend who's an usher at this court?
I'm telling the truth.
Well, then why did you not volunteer your services earlier?
Well, I hardly heard much about the case.
But you had heard of it?
Yes.
And yet you failed to come forward until today. And still you ask us to believe that what you're telling us is the truth.
Yes, I didn't know much about it.
Your Honor, I wonder if I might be allowed to leave my place and go closer to the witness box. Thank you.
What is your job, Mr. Van Doren? I'm a dealer in second-hand goods.
Where?
All over. Fulchester, Manchester, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Portobello Road, Petticoat Lane, East Street Market.
You say that your hair was dyed red in November last year?
Yes.
I don't see any traces of red in your hair. Your evidence is complete invention, isn't it? For some obscure reason of your own, you've decided to come here and tell lies for a couple of immigrants. Why? Because they're immigrants?
What I've told you is the truth.
Is that the man who sold you the cotton?
Yes. Only he had red hair then.
He's got a ring in his ear, hasn't he? How was it, if that is the man from whom you bought that cotton, when you were first asked to describe him, you did not mention that ring?
Well, all I could remember was the hair.
I have no further questions.
Come now, Patel. This is your last chance to tell the truth. That you've never met that man before, and that you stole that cotton from Mr. Pegg. If you lie on oath, you're guilty of the crime of perjury as well as theft. Now, where did you get that cotton?
I got it from him.
The prosecution case on all three counts is simple. In relation to the count of theft, the burden of the evidence of Mr. Johnson, of Adler and Johnson, a firm in Manchester, which among other things prints cotton, was that this roll came from his firm. And since such cotton had only been supplied to Mr. and Mrs. Pegg, the accused must have got it from them. Then Mrs. Pegg was an eyewitness. She actually saw the boy there take that roll of cotton out of the shop. The defence suggests that Mrs. Pegg is a wholly unreliable witness, and they refer to a campaign of harassment by Mr. and Mrs. Pegg against the family of the accused. Was there harassment? Or was Mr. Pegg merely doing the duty that lies upon every citizen, to see that the law is obeyed? That is a matter for you. Young Patel claims he bought the roll of cotton from a man with red hair in a pub, a man he'd never seen before or since. And at the 11th hour, and Mr. Van Doren arrives in this court and says he is the man. He says he has come here to tell the truth. Do you really think that if Mr. Van Doren had sold this cotton to this boy, he would have delayed coming forward until such a late hour, especially if he were a man who thought that truth was important in itself? The second count of handling, refers only to Miss Patel. The burden of the case is that she received that roll of cotton knowing or believing it to be stolen. Now, if you reach the conclusion that the roll of cotton was stolen, and both parties now say that it was, though the defence say it was not stolen from the Pegs, you must ask yourselves whether you think it is at all credible that she would not have known it. The third count is the most serious one. That is the charge against Miss Patel of wounding Mr. Pegg with the intent to cause grievous bodily harm. Certainly, he was wounded. And the question is whether that wound was inflicted by Miss Patel with the intention to cause him really serious harm, or whether, as she claims, it was an accident. How was it, you may ask yourselves, that Miss Patel, if she had already the scissors in her hand when the struggle started, did not put them down before going over to take part in the struggle over the roll of cotton? Surely she would have wanted both hands free. How was it, if it was an accident, that somehow her grip had slipped on the handles of the scissors so that they fell open? Because, of course, one can see it is much easier to stab someone with one blade of the scissors than with the scissors closed. I must remind you of the burden of proof. The prosecution have the burden of proving their case on each count beyond all reasonable doubt. Now, if on any count you think there is a doubt for which you can give a reason, then your verdict must be one of not guilty. Will you now retire, elect a foreman to speak for you on your return, and consider your verdict?
The foreman, please stand. Just answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached verdicts upon which you are all agreed?
No.
Have you reached verdicts upon a majority of you have agreed?
Yes.
On the first count of theft, do you find the accused Dinesh Patel guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On the second count of handling, do you find the accused Navleka Patel guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On the third count of wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm, do you find the accused Navleka Patel guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Very well. You are free to go.
The cases in Fulchester are fictitious. You can join us again when our cameras return to bring you another leading case in the Crown Court.